Yeah. Now, today we will be dealing with the geometry. Okay. So, in the forenoon session, I had shown you an image of a block mesh that is having coordinates, as well as I had shown a front view of a water cavity. So, we will be creating that today using block mesh dictionary, then opposite dictionary, and later on we will be splitting that into different domains. Okay, so I will just explain what is happening in these three commands. First of all, while executing the block mesh, we will be creating a block and we will be dividing that into different number of elements. Later on, using this opposite dictionary file, we are grouping some of these elements into different groups. Okay, let that be called heater, left solid, right solid, or the water cavity, etc. So just we are grouping that, and then later on we are giving a command to split these groups. Okay, so using the split mesh command, we are just giving command to split these elements into which was grouped into different groups, and that will be now treated as different domains. That will be treated as different domains. So that's what we'll be doing here. Okay. So I will just present the screen now. Yes. Yeah. Now we have already the case file that we had already copied from the tutorial folder. That name is called multi-region heater. Okay. So just I am renaming that. Okay. Just I am renaming that. Just give a water cavity. Okay. Just I am renaming it as water cavity. Yeah. Now, rightly, I am just moving on to the system folder and I want to edit the block mesh now. That's the first thing that you are going to do. So since this is much time consuming and uh, a lot of patience needs to be there and what to tell, there won't be any mistakes that you should make. Okay, you should just follow all the instructions that's given by me. It's just because that if an error is produced, it will be quite difficult for rectifying. Okay, so please do follow, and it's better to create errors also because we will be learning only from our mistakes. If we are not while executing all these commands, we won't be able to produce any errors. That means we won't be studying that way. Okay, we may think that yeah, it's fine, it's already going fine, and it's very easy. But when it starts to do by your own, there will be a lot of mistakes, and most probably you will be dropping this open source because it's quite difficult to rectify by our own if we don't know what's the cause of that error. Okay, so let's see. But don't make silly mistakes. Okay, sometimes we may give this small case instead of upper case. Like that, please don't make such mistakes. So let's see. So this was the block mesh. This was the block mesh that we have already. So I had given some figures, and in that you can see some values. So you need to give those values here. Okay. So for the sake of easiness, it's just the you can just multiply this one with 100. Okay, these values you can just multiply with 100 so that you will be getting those coordinates. Okay, just I had gone through this block mesh and just I had created the coordinates, but at least this block mesh part will be easy for you. Okay, so you know how to create the block because you had created already in our in compression flow tutorial case. So just create a block mesh. Okay, you have 2 minutes time. Okay, with that time, just create that block mesh. Just multiple all these coordinates with 100 so that you will be getting that value. Okay.
Or will there be any problem if we have more than one space between like 4 and 5?
No, no, no issues, no issues.
Okay,
At least there should be one space. That's all.
okay, okay.
Okay, have you even completed the block mesh?
We should run, right, sir?
Yeah, we should run this. So if you have completed the coordinates, you can run using the command block mesh. So go to that directory using our command cd. Yeah. So now the block mesh is created. So let's see how it looks. So this is the block that's created. Now we can see that I had given VTK block colors in order to represent the different domains that's present. So we can see that there are no domains. There is only one block that is created now. Now we are going to group different elements that's present inside this block as heater, left solid, right solid, etc. Okay. Now I'm just closing this paraview. Now we are moving on to another dictionary file called topset dictionary file. Yes. In topset dictionary file, if you are just going through the already existing geometries or the group of cells that was already created in the tutorial, you can see some um, sort of commands that's been written over there. Just we can go through one. First of all, we can look into the heater. See, in the case of heater, first of all, I am naming that cell set as heater cell set. Okay, so I am naming some cell sets as heater cell set, and then I am giving the action as new. I am going to create a new cell set that's called heater cell set, and then I am specifying that I am giving the coordinates in order to create a box. Okay, so that means box to cell. Okay, I am giving the coordinates so that we are going to create a box, and all those cells that's coming inside the box should be grouped into that particular cell set. Okay, into that particular heater cell set. Then I am giving the dimensions of the box. That's the minimum and the maximum point of a box, so that we can create that box. So thus we are grouping that into a cell set. Now, in the second sort of command, we can see that we are again making some another cell sets. We are making some another cell sets. That's again called heater cell set. Okay, that's again called heater cell set. And the action now we are giving is add, because we are already created a cell set. We had already created a cell set that's called heater cell set. And now I am adding that. Now I am adding the second box. I am adding the second box containing the cells into the previously created heater cell set. Okay. So in the second case, I am giving the coordinates so that we can create a box, and all those elements that's coming inside that box is being grouped into the heater cell set that we had already created. Now all these heater cell sets is being specified as a zone. Okay, now we are converting this cell set into a zone, and then that zone is created there. Okay, so that is partitioned or that's divided, but that's not splitted. Okay, that's just partitioned in the block mesh itself, but that is not splitted into different domains. Okay, just that is kept aside as another zone. Now moving on to the left solid. Moving on to left solid, we can see these commands again. We are creating the cell set called left solid. Again, we are giving the commands for creating a box. Then again, that's being grouped into a cell zone. So like this, we can see that for right solid, then for the top pair, and finally, we can see the other domain, that's bottom water. What's the case of bottom water? Actually, in that tutorial geometry that I had shown, it consists of top air, bottom water, left solid, right solid, and heater. We have 5 domains. Okay, so now we are coming to the fifth domain. Okay, now we are coming to the fifth domain.
So in this case, what we are doing is that we are not specifying the geometry where it is. Right? Just we are telling that what all cells are not included in other zones. What all cells that is not included in other zones can be grouped into a new cell set that's called a bottom water cell set. Okay, that's what we are specifying here. See, let's see what we are giving here. See, I am creating a cell set called bottom water cell set, and then I am giving it as I am creating a new cell set. That's I am giving the action as new. Then I am telling that there is some cell set called heater cell set. Okay, so from there we want to get the informations. Then again, I am adding the left solid there into that particular cell set. I am adding left solid. Then again, I am adding to that particular portion right solid. Then top pair is also been added, so that I am adding all the 4 domains or the 4 zones that we had created now. Okay, I am adding all the 4 domains that I had created now into that particular cell set. Okay, so that means now we have all the cell sets that we had created now in a particular group that is called bottom water. Okay, but still we don't want that. Actually, we want the remaining portions, isn't it? We want the remaining portions that's present inside the block mesh that we need to represent it as bottom water. So in order to represent that, initially what we are doing is that we will be grouping all the domains or all the zones that we had created or we had grouped that's been added to this cell set that's called the bottom water cell set. And finally, the interesting part is that we are just inverting that. Okay, we are just inverting that. That means the bottom water cell set that's being grouped and we are giving that invert. That means all this will be excluded and the thing that's what's remaining will be added into this one. Okay. So initially we are grouping all the cell sets that we are created as bottom water. Then we are giving the command for inverting that. So that means inside the block mesh, what is remaining other than this group will be added as bottom water cell set. Okay. So then again, as usually, we are assigning that as a zone. We are assigning that group of cells as a different zone. Okay. So that's about that opposite dictionary that's already created here. So now what we are going to do is that we'll be editing this one in such a way that that will be used for our geometry. Okay. So I want the comments from everyone. I won't be doing anything over here. I will be just editing this one as per the coordinates that's given by you. Okay. Yeah, first of all, since for the easiness, because air cavity, we have 2 blocks. Okay, sorry, in the case of water cavity, we have 2 blocks, and this that 2 blocks are being grouped into a single one, so that we can edit that in the case of heater. Okay, so for the easiness, I am just editing that as water cavity. So this will be water cavity. So I am naming the cell set as water cavity cell set. Naming the cell set as water cavity cell set. Now I am going to create the box. So can anyone tell me what are the minimum and maximum coordinates of a single block? Okay, actually that water cavity cell set will be having 2 blocks since there is a T-shaped one. So I just want the coordinates of one single block. Can anyone please tell me?
0 minus 10 minus 4.
0 minus 10 minus 4. Yes. Second
10
one?
4 5. 10 4 5.
4, 5. Okay. Yes. Now, now we are going to add another group of cell set. It's water cavity. And what will be this box?
-5, -4, -2.
-5, -4, -2.
0, 4, 0.
0, 4, 0. So I think there is some mistake in the first one. Is it 0, -10, -4?
So it will be -10, -4, 0.
Yes, -10, -4.
And 0. 0 will be at the last.
Yes.
That coordinate.
Yeah, yes.
Sorry, -10. That is
Yeah, yes.
-10, -10.
-10, -4, -0, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, fine. Yeah. Now, I am moving on to next step. That's where we are assigning all these cell set into a new zone that's called water cavity zone. So that's been assigned. So the information that needs to be collected from water cavity cell set. So please be careful about the spelling and all. Okay. So conventionally we will be naming, the spelling the first word of the second or third, the first alphabet of the second or third words as the uppercase. So that's why I am using like that. Okay, so please try to follow that, or else you will be forgetting that all those things. Now, yeah, moving on to the left solid. What are the informations of left solid? What are the coordinates? What's the minimum and maximum coordinate for the left solid?
So -10, -4, -5.
-10, -4, -5, yes.
And the other one will be -5, -5, 4, and 0.
-5, -4,
-5,
and
4, and 0.
0. Am I
That will be
right?
plus 4.
-4,
That will be
4 and
plus
0.
4.
Yes. +4.
Your voice is breaking.
He said +4, sir. -5
Plus
4.
4. Okay. +4, 0.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So now left solid is being created. Now we are moving on to the right solid. So what is the case here?
0, 4, 0.
0, 4, 0.
10, -4, -5.
10, -4.
Sir,
There's something.
I think
What is
0
the
-5.
Yeah, 0, -4, -5. Yes, yes. 0, -4. Is it -5?
-5.
Is it -5?
No, sir. No,
I
sir.
think that will be 0.
0.
Yes. 0, -4, 0. Yes. Then 10, -4.
So then it will be 10, 4,
Yes,
-5.
it will be 10, 4. Yes, it will be 10, 4.
-5.
10, 4, -5.
Sir, right solid, the point, the bottommost point is Z is -5, no?
Yes, it is -5. Yes, yes, yes. You are right. Yes, exactly. So here it will be -5, and here it will be 0.
0. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So now it's grouped into right solid.
Sir, we can take the other diagonal.
No, actually, the while creating a block mesh, what's the conventional thing that we'll be following is that we'll be taking 0 and 6.
Okay.
Okay. So how many domains that we have? We have only 4 domains, isn't it?
We have 4 domains.
Yeah.
Four.
Yes. So I am just deleting this top pair because already in this case we have 5 domains, so we don't want one domain. So I am just deleting this one. Yeah. Now what is the remaining one?
Heater.
Okay.
Yeah, it's heater. So just we are going to create heater. So initially I am grouping the all cell sets that's created now as heater. So first one should be water cavity cell set. First one should be water cavity cell set. Then second one can be left solid cell set. Then third one again right solid, it can be right solid. And finally we don't have the fourth one, that means top pair that we are deleting. Okay, please be careful about the braces. Okay, don't delete more number of braces. So now we had grouped all the cell sets that been created into heater cell set. Now we are inverting that heater cell set. So now we'll be getting the remaining portions of heater. And now I am just grouping that cell set into a new zone that's called heater cell set. Okay. So that's it. We had completed the editing things. Okay. Is it okay? So far, any doubts?
Can you show me once again the coordinates? I was not able to.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So these are the coordinates for water cavity. And this is for left solid.
Solid, sir.
Yeah.
For right solid.
Yes. This.
Sir, actually the corners of the domain, no, sir? Or of each domain. The diagonal points of each domain.
Diagonal points of this domain.
That vertices which we have added is actually the diagonal points of each cell set, no? Or each cell zone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. These are the diagonal points of these cell sets. In such a way that will be, if we are taking it as a block, that should be the 0th and 6th point. Okay.
So what are the modifications done in the last one, that is bottom water cell set?
In bottom water, we are just renaming it as heater. All the bottom water portions will be renamed as heater. And then we are specifying the already made sets. That means instead of here that would be heater cell set, that will be renaming it as water cavity cell set, and below that it's already created one, that's left solid. Then we have right solid, that's also the default already that's available in the tutorial. Then we are deleting that top air. We are deleting the top air because we don't want that geometry. Then at last we are inverting that heater cell set, so that here it will be bottom water. We want to edit that into heater cell set, and that is inverting. And finally, we are grouping the heater into a new that we are creating as heater, and that's been grouped from the cell set of heater.
Hello.
Yes.
First
Sir,
one will be the cell set. No, first one in the bottom water.
Yeah. First one. I will say it.
For-
Actually, we are changing that bottom water into heater. Okay. We are changing all the terms of bottom water into heater. Okay. Just don't edit that by looking into that screen. Just understand what we are doing. Okay. What we want to create is that we want to create a heater cell set. And what we are doing is that we are just grouping all the cells that are already created. That means we had created a water cavity, then we have left solid, and we have right solid. So all these cell sets that we had created is being assigned to this heater cell set. Okay, so that heater cell set will be having all these things. And then we are telling that we need to invert that. Okay, we are telling that we need to invert that. That means other than what we have should be added. Other than what we have should be added. So that we are adding the remaining portions that's available in the block mesh. Okay, then that's been grouped into a new zone that is called heater. If someone was asking one question.
sir,
Yes.
do we need to leave any boundary to all, or it will be just touching the boundaries of the block mesh we have created?
It will be touching the boundaries only.
Okay.
So do you completed this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then now we'll be executing this command. The command is called toposet. Okay, I am going to execute the command. Toposet. Okay, S should be capital letter. S should be capital letter. Now we are created that cell sets. Now we had created that cell sets, and now we are moving on to an interesting part. So now we are giving the command for splitting these regions. Okay, we are giving the command to split these regions. So the command will be split mesh regions space minus cell zones space minus override. Okay, so this is a command that we are going to give. So you can copy that from the this script file called all run. So let's see whether it is working or not. See, it's producing error. What will be the cause of this error?
So we need to delete the polymesh created
No,
beforehand.
no. Just read that error. In the case of this deletion of polymesh that we had created already, that will be producing another error which is having a lot of question marks and all, or just that will be telling that Previously, this much cells were there, but now we are finding only this much cell. Okay. And we had also come across one more error. That was it's the coordinates is not inside the geometry or inside the bounding box. So that was when we had created the mesh file for the pipe, and we had given the coordinate outside that pipe. So that occurred at that place, so that we were forced to start from beginning, isn't it? But
Yes, sir.
this is quite different. So just see, just read that error and see what it is.
Some elements are part in both the
Yes,
zones.
yes. So what should we do? I had just given an idea yesterday.
So we need to separate the bodies for the left zone with the water zone and right zone with the water capacity.
Yeah. So what should we do? That's a question. We need to separate it. Yes. There won't be any sharing in between. So if any zones are sharing, it may cause error because we won't be able to divide that, or we won't be able to
Split.
split that into. So where we want to correct this one? Where we want to correct this one? Any idea?
You have to split. How to split? Forgot.
Yeah, actually, we are giving the command for splitting, but it's telling that we are not able to split because some part of the geometry is being shared with different zones. So, what should we do? The boundary is not clearly defined. Someone property is being shared with two people. What to do?
Actually, in the block mesh, we should have
Yes,
the number of cells and all we should have redefined.
exactly. So while giving the number of elements in these x, y, and z directions, we need to specify that by looking to the geometry that we are giving. Okay. So there should be a clear boundary, or we can tell that there should not be any elements that's being shared with the different zones. So we need to keep that in mind while creating that block mesh. So now we are going back again. So I am going back to block mesh. Now, what should be the product, or what should be the value that we need to give?
The 30, 10, 10 we should change.
Yes, 30, 10, 10 we should change. Then what are the possible values that we can give at the base of 30? So let's see. We can look to the geometry, then we can discuss, I think. Yeah. So this is the geometry. You are
So
getting
X
an
should be at
error.
least
Yeah, Jidin, I think that you might have misspelled somewhere else, or all this editing won't be correct. Okay, that means some previous created cell sets will be available over there. Okay, just check. I will show the topos dictionary after explaining this one. Okay. Yeah. So what should be the division, number of divisions, or the number of divisions that's possible? What should be the number of divisions? The length is 20 meter, isn't it?
yeah,
Yes,
20.
sir.
It can be multiple of 5, I think. So since we have left solid and right
Then
solid
30.
and
What about 30? 30 is the multiple of 5.
So x direction should not have any problem, I think.
Yeah, x will be having the problem, isn't it? See, I am dividing that into 30. Okay,
Yeah.
the total length is 20, and I am dividing that into 30. So, what will be the length of one division? 20 by 30, isn't it? 2 by 3.
Okay, fine.
So, that's not possible in our case.
So
Yes,
it
yes.
should
What
be
the-
multiple of 20.
It should be the multiple of 20. Yes, you are right. It should be the multiple of 20. So let's see how it works. If the number of divisions that we are giving in x direction was 20, the number of the length of each element will be 1 meter, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So in left solid, how many elements will be there in x direction?
5.
Yeah, there will be 5 elements. In the case of heater, there will be
5.
again 5 elements.
Again, five elements.
In right solid, it will be 10 elements.
10 elements.
Okay, so we can give 40 also.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we can give 20, 40, 80, etc.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what happens if I am giving 100? Is there any problem?
No, sir.
No.
If I am giving the 100 also, I think there is no problem because 20 by 100, 0.2. Then here it is 5. Okay, there will be 10 elements, isn't it? No,
Yes, sir.
yeah, 0.2, then 5, 50 elements. Sorry, 50 elements will be there. Okay, here there will be 50, here will be 50, and here, no, 25.
So 25,
It's
25,
25,
50.
yes. 25, 25, 50. Okay, 100 is also okay. So it can be a multiple of 20. Okay, it can be a multiple of 20. So that's there. Now, what about this Z direction?
Eight.
Should be a multiple of 20, 2, and 3.
Hmm.
So
Let's see.
Z direction is minus 5 to 5.
Yeah, minus 5 to 5, yes. So
It
that
should be a
means 10.
multiple of 2 only, sir.
Yeah, it can be a multiple of 2 only, yes. Because
There are 2 dividing zones only, so it could be multiple of 2.
no, then what happens?
Sorry.
We have the left solid. In the left solid, we have the total height. Total height as 5, isn't it?
No, sir.
So it's not
It
possible.
couldn't be multiple of 2 because of the
Yeah,
heater in between.
yes. So if you are
Heater
looking the heater alone, then
contains
that won't be possible in
3,
the case of left solid.
3
Multiple of 3 is not
minus
possible.
yes, 3, 2, and 5.
It should
3,
be the
2, and
Should be a
multiple of at
multiple
least
of
10. 10.
yes, sir. 3, 2, 5. Multiple of 10.
It should be at least the multiple of 10. Okay. Is it clear?
So it should be multiple of 30, I guess.
No, it should be the multiple of 10. Let's see.
So
The total
because
height is 10.
heater is taking 3
No, heater is taking 2 only, no?
minus 5 to 2 minus 2
Yes, minus 2 only. So
minus 5 to minus 2, no, sir?
here is the
Yes.
heater portion. Here is the heater portion.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that
sir.
means minus 5 to minus
Minus 2.
2.
So,
That is 3.
yeah,
Yes,
3.
that's 3.
So it should be a multiple of 3, 2,
So it should be a
and
multiple
5.
of
Sir.
3, 5,
2
Multiple of
and
30 then.
and 10. Yes, it should be the multiple of 30. Yes. So that should be the multiple of 30. So is there any problem with regard to y-axis?
Y-axis, no, sir.
Yeah,
No
there is
It's
no
difference.
problem.
entirely completely same,
Yes,
so there
yes,
shouldn't be any problem.
yes. There is no problem with the y-axis. Okay. So now we are going to edit that one. So here I am giving it as say 40, and here it can be 30. Okay, if we are increasing the value, what happens is that the total number of elements will be getting increased and it will take much time to solve. Okay, so for the sake of completing it at the earliest, I am giving it as a lower number of elements. So here we can give 20. Okay, that will be fine. So I am saving that. And Jithin, whether your problem is solved or not? Jithin, do I want to show that? Okay, I will show that topos dictionary once again. So please go through that. So please go through it one by one. And just tell me if I need to scroll down, I will scroll down accordingly.
സ്ക്രോൾ ചെയ്യോ? സ്ക്രോൾ ചെയ്യോ? ഓക്കെ സാർ, ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ ഹീറ്റർ വാട്ടർ ക്യാവിറ്റി ആക്കി.
Okay. Yeah. Then just execute that command and let's see whether it works.
ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാനാ സാറേ, എനിക്കൊരു ചെറിയൊരു എറർ പോലെ.
എവിടെയാണ്?
ലാസ്റ്റ് നമ്മൾ ഇൻവേർട്ട് ഇതിന് ശേഷമുള്ള പോർഷൻ ലെഫ്റ്റ് സോളിഡിന് താഴത്തേക്ക്. സാറേ ഓക്കെ, ഇതിന് ഹീറ്റർ സെൽസിന്റെ താഴെ. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി താഴെ സാർ, താഴെ വരെ. ഓക്കെ, ഏറ്റവും ലാസ്റ്റ് സംഭവം.
Please beware about this braces also. Okay. Please see whether any unclosed braces are there.
സാർ ഇതിന് ജസ്റ്റ് മേലെ എന്തായിരുന്നു സാർ? ഇതിന് ജസ്റ്റ് മേലെ
It will be heater cells.
ഹീറ്റർ സെൽസിന്റെ മേലെ, അതിന്റെ മേലെ ഹീറ്റർ. ഓക്കെ, ഏറ്റവും താഴത്താണ് എറർ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് സാർ. ഏറ്റവും താഴെ ബോട്ടം വാട്ടറിൽ ഹീറ്റർ എന്ന് കൊടുത്തില്ല.
ഓക്കെ, ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തില്ല.
ഓക്കെ, അവിടെ അത് ആഡ് ചെയ്യണമല്ലോ അല്ലേ? Sure. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to execute the commands from the beginning. So first of all, I am giving block mesh. Then I'm going to give the command to opposite. Then giving the command split mesh regions.
Sir, നമ്മൾ ബ്ലോക്ക് മെഷില് 30-10-10 പകരം 20 അല്ലേ
40,
കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്?
40.
40 ആണ്.
Yeah, it was changed to 40, 20, 30.
അതായത് എക്സ് ഡയറക്ഷനിലേക്ക് 40,
X direction 40.
ബാക്കി
Yes,
രണ്ടും
40, 20, 30. Y 20 and Z 30.
ഓക്കെ.
So after editing the block mesh, you need to execute all the commands: block mesh, top offset dictionary, top offset, and then split mesh regions. Now I'm just visualizing the geometries that is created. Okay, let's see how the geometry look like. See, this is a geometry. So the green one will be the water cavity. Then that blue, light blue color will be the left solid. Pink will be the right solid, and red will be the heater. Okay. So if you wish, we can give the heater as very thin plate also. Okay, that doesn't matter. So that's the geometry that we have created now. Okay, have you anyone got this one? Any doubts regarding this till now?
Sir, if we try to present it in the volume way, then what's the error showing?
Volume way means?
Sir, in
here
the
you had
surface. No, on the right side, other than surface. If we turn for
this one.
volume, yes, sir, this will change the representation type to volume. This may take a
that
while.
we will be using mostly in the case of this volume rendering and all.
Okay.
Okay.
This will cause any changes to the original data or anything?
No, 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 no. It won't be changed.
Okay.
Yes. So shall we move from here? Everyone had got.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I am closing this para view. Now, remember one thing, this bottom water contains all the files or the original files, okay? So, it should not be deleted. Okay, this bottom water cannot be deleted. So what I am going to do is that I'm just renaming it as our water cavity. Okay, I'm just renaming it as water cavity. Or else what happens is that it will be created. See, we can see here that the water cavity is being created. Okay, the water cavity is already created as default. So that will be a big problem. So what we are going to do is that this we are cleaning all these things. We are cleaning all the commands that we had executed now. And again, we are starting from the beginning. And I am just giving the folder name here as a water cavity. Okay, in order to avoid an additional folder that is being created. Okay, because all the original files are contained inside this folder. So if we are deleting that, then it will be producing some errors. Okay. So inside this, we can see that it's containing only FE schemes and FE solutions. Nothing is there. Okay, but actually, there should be some change dictionary file and decompose part dictionary should be there. So we can copy paste that. That doesn't matter. But a lot of additions should be there. Should be done for that particular purpose. Okay, and there will be causing some errors also. So we don't want that. That's why we are renaming this bottom water cavity, and I'm just deleting this one. So I'm just renaming it as water cavity. Okay, I'm just renaming it as water cavity, and I don't want this top air. Sorry, I don't want this top air, so that I'm just deleting that folder, entire folder. So now we have only the 4 domains. We have heater, left solid, right solid, and water cavity. Okay, we have heater, left solid, right solid, and water cavity. That's it. Now just move on to the constant. Okay, now just move on to the constant. In constant also,
Sir,
we
in
have
there was two more folders. That is domain one and top pair. What should I do that?
domain one and top pair.
Yes. Domain one
So
contains
we,
schemes and FE solutions.
yeah, did you visualize that domain one using ParaView?
No, sir, I didn't.
Just please go to ParaView. I will show you where or how to visualize this one. Just open the ParaView.
Okay.
So someone feels sleepy. Yeah. Now I am opening that file that we are obtained, and I am just keeping it as VTK block colors.
Is that error showing, sir? I also had that error. That is maximum.
Yeah, everyone will be getting that. That's some graphical representation error. It's telling that the time is zero. The time is zero, so that the values cannot be shown. Always the time will be zero. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So initially, always the time will be zero. And in the morning session, you had seen that we are changing this time. That means in the result folder, there will be some files written with the time 150, etc. As in like what we had got yesterday. So that time step we can capture all those time step by entering the value of that time here. So the results corresponding to that can be visible in the window here. So if we are giving the time step other than say some 10 or 20 whose directory is written, the result files are available with us. It won't be producing that error. But initially while we are opening the ParaView, by default the time will be zero. So it will be producing the error. So never mind that. Okay. See, while scrolling down in the property tab, we can see one thing. Here we can see meshed regions. Okay, here we can see mesh region. So check, please click on that checkbox. So everything will be selected. Then uncheck that. So everything will be hide now. And Then just go through that. We can see some internal meshes. See, this is the heater internal mesh. So just I am clicking onto that and click apply. I'll be seeing only heater. Okay, so this is the heater that I had created. That's a heater portion only. So we can uncheck that. We can move bottom. We can use arrow keys, a down arrow key for moving downwards. Because actually, if you are using in the Ubuntu OS, it's fine that you can see one more scroller over there, so you can scroll down. But since we are using the VirtualBox, that is just uh, that's a compressed window so that we cannot see that. Okay, so we won't be able to scroll down, so you can use the down arrow key in order to scroll down. So now we can see internal mesh for water cavity. Click on that. So this will be the this will be the internal mesh regions for the water cavity. Then uncheck that. You can scroll down. Then again we can see bottom water is here, because that's already present in the previous one. That's why it's showing that. You can see some small areas here. So that we are avoiding that. That's a small area that will be the remnants of our older one. Okay. So that we will be deleting that folder. So that doesn't matter. Then scroll down again. Now we can see the top pair internal mesh. So there again, there is a small portion that since we had executed this command in this case file already, because after that tutorial, after copying the tutorial, I had shown how that geometry looked like by executing all these commands. So already that mesh files will be created in that particular folder. So we need to delete that. So till now we hadn't deleted that. We will be going to constant now only. So that's why it is showing that. So after deleting all those things, that will be gone. Okay. So similarly, you can see that a domain one. You can see that domain one and this top layer, everything will be visible when we are looking like this in Paraview. Okay, so let's see whether it is a big geometry that's a part of our block mesh that we had created. Just see that. And if it's the part of block mesh that we had created, that means there are some errors. Okay, that might be in your topos dictionary. So please go through that and just see how this domain one look like. Okay. So now I am moving on to our case file, and now we are moving on to constant. In constant also we can see this bottom water is there, heater is there, left solid is there, then we have body mesh folder, then right solid, top air, and water cavity. So we don't want this water cavity now. We don't want this water cavity, so this I am deleting that. And instead what we'll be doing? We'll be renaming the bottom water. Okay. We'll be renaming the bottom water as water cavity. Okay, we'll be renaming the bottom water as water cavity. Then now we have top air. I don't want that mesh file, so I'll be deleting that. So we have heater, left solid, right solid, and water cavity. So these are the 4 domains that we have now. And just click on the region properties where we want to specify what type all these regions are, whether it is a fluid or a solid region. Okay. So we have only one fluid domain, that is water cavity. So here I am just telling that the fluid domain is water cavity. Okay. And we have 3 solid domains, that is heater, left solid, and right solid. So that's it about the region properties that I am specifying the fluid and the solid domains here. And then I am closing that. Now again we are moving on to the zero folder. Zero directory also we can see that there is bottom water is there and in water cavity is there. So what I am doing is that I am deleting it once again. So I don't want this water cavity here. I am just deleting that and I am renaming here it as water cavity. Okay. I am renaming it as water cavity. Then top air is also being deleted. Top air also is being deleted. So now we have all the 4 domains over here also. Now what we will be doing is that now we want to do one more addition here because all the time deleting all these folders is quite messy. So what we will be doing is that we will be editing this script files. Okay, we will be editing the script files. So just open that all clean file. All clean file contains all the commands for removing the files. Okay, we can see RM means remove, delete. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be editing this one as water cavity. So inside the zero, this water cavity folder will be deleted. Okay, inside the zero, water cavity folder will be deleted while we are cleaning that. Then we have top air. We don't have top air now, so just remove that command. Then heater, left solid, right solid. Okay, that's it. So that all will be removed while we are executing this command. Then similarly in the constant folder also, we come across with some folders like bottom water, top air, etc. that we had deleted manually right now. But now I am giving the commands for, or we are just means editing the commands, in our own way that what all domains that we have right now. Okay. So what we have is that water cavity. So I am editing the bottom water as water cavity. Then we don't have top air now. So I am just removing that. Yeah, that's it. We have heater, left solid, right solid, etc. So all the mesh files will be deleted. Okay, all the mesh files will be deleted while we are executing this command. Now we can go to the another script file that's called all run. Yeah. See, in this all run, we can see that there are some areas where we need to remove some boundary conditions. Okay, that means in zero folder you can see some values like epsilon is there, K is there, pressure is there, then P minus rho GH is there, temperature is there, and velocity is there. Okay, what all values or what all properties should there be present in the case of solid domain? What all values should be there for solid domain? Do you want to specify velocity? Or do you want to specify K epsilon values for solid domain?
Pressure, temperature.
Yeah, pressure and temperature is only the values that's necessary. Okay, all the remaining things is not necessary for the solid domains. But since we are giving a file like this, while executing the command, a folder will be created for all the domains. And inside that folder, as a default, all these files will be created inside that particular folder. Okay, all these files will be created inside that particular folder. And we don't want that files for all these files for solid domains. We only want these files for fluid domain. So what we will be doing is that we will be executing a command for removing these unwanted files. Okay, we will be executing this, removing these property files for solid domains. Okay, so that's why we are specifying here. In heater, left solid and right solid, they are solid domains. So we don't want these files inside the corresponding folder. We don't want these files inside the corresponding folder. Corresponding folder means I here we are representing. I is for heater, left solid and right solid. In where? Inside the zero directory. Okay, inside the zero directory, corresponding to the heater folder, left solid folder, or right solid folder. We don't want these kind of files, so just remove that. Okay, just remove that. So that's a command that we are giving. And then now here, yesterday's presentation I had introduced a new dictionary file called change dictionary dict. Change dictionary dict. So that was used for giving the boundary conditions and for mapping the faces, isn't it? So this is the command for executing that dictionary file so that all the boundary conditions that we had specified in the dictionary, this change dictionary dict will be automatically assigned to all regions and that will appear in the zero folder. Okay, that will appear in the zero folder. So that's the command that we are specifying here. Then, yeah, now we need to edit that, isn't it? We don't have bottom water and top air. We don't have bottom water and top air. So I am just deleting that and just I am giving water cavity. Okay, water cavity is being given. So that's it. So our script file is being edited now. And this was for running the processor in parallel. Since we are using VirtualBox, it's not possible for us to run that in parallel. So just we are making these comments for running the process in parallel into comments. Okay. So in morning, someone were telling about this touch all command, paraform touch all. So that means all the results file will be created and we can execute the command called paraform for visualizing the results. Okay, not paraview. We can execute the command paraform for visualizing these results. But at sometimes this paraform command will not work. That's why I am not recommending that. So here also the default command that's given is paraform touch all. So I'm just deleting that one. I'm just deleting that one and I'm giving just touch a dot form. That's already created. So there is no meaning in creating the result file again. But just for the sake, I am giving just touch a dot form. So a is the file where all these results will be written. Okay. So that's it. We have edited all our run files.
So,
Yes.
so we need to comment that run on single processor file also.
Yeah, we need to comment that all files because or else that will be running in parallel. I'll show that once again.
So that
See,
first one, run
this is the
application
single
get
processor. This is the single processor file. So this we are uncommenting so that we need to execute this command only. Okay, this is for running in single processor.
in my Prince free files. It was commented, so I have.
Yeah, this will be commented. Yes, I had changed that. This we need to uncomment. And the rest of three, I am commenting that one. Yes. So now I am going to execute the command all clean so that all the meshes will be gone. Okay, all the meshes will be gone and we can start from fresh. So for executing the command, that is, we need to execute that script file called all clean. So just give dot slash all clean. So it's cleaned. Okay, now let's see. We can go to this zero folder. See, nothing is there. Everything is deleted. Okay, everything is deleted. So that's it. Now we can move on to constant and let's see. Here, heater. Inside the heater, there is no polymesh. It's gone. Okay, inside the left solid, it's gone. Nothing is there. So everything will be removed. Okay, while executing that command, everyone is deleted. So it's free now. Now we are going to start from beginning. That means we need to execute the command from block mesh onwards. So now it's everything looks fine. We have water cavity, heater, left solid and right solid over here. So initially that should be kept in mind because the bottom water contains all the files, original files. Okay, that's why I'm renaming it as water cavity. I don't want to delete that particular file. Okay, particular folder. Okay.
Sir, to run clean, what was the command?
/all clean. All clean means the file name. Okay, all clean is the file name. So the command for running a script file is /. Okay, /.
All clean should be capital, right?
That means the file, just you can look at that file and you can spell that file. That's it. Okay. So if it is named as B, then /B. That's all. Just we are giving the file name. In Salome also, for opening that Salome, what we are doing? We are just executing the command /Salome. That's how we are opening Salome. Okay. So it's just because that
Okay.
we have a file, script file called Salome inside that particular folder. Okay. Yeah. Now we are starting from the beginning. We are giving the command block mesh. Then again top offset. And finally split mesh regions. So now we have all the regions. Previously created mesh files are removed. Okay. So any questions so far? If you have any doubts regarding these things, we can have a discussion now.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So in the constant folder, we have an extra folder polymesh other than the 4 folders.
Yeah, that's just the default one. That's the default one. Nothing in that.
So it's not necessary to keep it.
No, you should not delete that. That should be there.
Okay.
See, in this one also we can see a lot of files like pressure, P minus logit, U, T, etc. So these are the default files. If we are deleting that, correspondingly those files will not be created in this folder.
Okay.
So similarly, that polymesh folder is there. So that's why it's creating a correspondingly a polymesh folder in our domain.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now one important thing. In water cavity, we can see a file called G. Okay, we have a file called G. We want to specify the direction of gravitational force. Okay. So what should be the direction of the gravitational force? Any idea? In which direction this bottom portion is being directed?
Z.
Why? No. No, not y.
Z.
Yeah, yes, it is z. In which direction? Minus z
Minus
or?
Z.
Yes, minus z.
Minus
Yes, yes,
minus Z.
right. It's minus z. So I am opening this file and I want to give the acceleration due to gravity as minus 9.81. That means it's towards the direction of minus z. Yes. So that's about it. So I'll just give a brief on what we had done till now. Initially, we had created a block mesh, and while creating the block mesh, we should keep in mind that there should not be any shared cell zones between the shared cells between the zones that we want to create, or else that will be producing errors while we are splitting those cell zones. So that's one thing that we want to keep in mind. Then secondly, we had created the topos dictionary file. And finally, we had created all these cell zones, or we had splitted all the cell zones into different domains using the command split mesh. And then we had just gone through the zero constant and system folders, and we had found that there are some unwanted things. We had deleted that, and we had renamed this bottom water into water cavity because I don't want to lose those original files. Then we had just done some additions in this script file, all run and all clean, in order to remove all those files while executing those commands. So there we are now, isn't it? And also we had come across with this region property file where we want to specify the domains, whether it is fluid or solid. And now we came across the file for giving the direction of the gravitational force also. Now, what's the next thing that we have to do? Now we had meshed the geometry, isn't it? Now we had created the mesh also. Now what is the next thing? We have created the geometry as well as the mesh because we had splitted the block mesh into different regions. So block mesh means while executing the command itself, that block is being meshed. So we have the meshed geometry now. Now what is the next step that we are going to do?
Apply boundary conditions.
Yes, we want to apply the boundary conditions. Yes, fine. We want to apply the boundary conditions. So what should we do? We need to go to all these folders. We need to go to all these folders and we need to apply the boundary conditions in a file called change dictionary dict. Okay, change dictionary dict file. We need to apply the boundary condition. So first of all, I am going to water cavity. Inside water cavity, we can see a file called change dictionary dict. Okay, change dictionary dict. So I am just giving the boundary conditions over there. So actually, what should be the values? Actually, what should be the values? What should be the boundaries? Where the inlet is lying? Where's the inlet? It should be at the left side, isn't it? It should be at the left side. So that means the inlet is at min x. Okay, the inlet is at min x. That's the minimum phase of that particular plane perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, that's called min x. So we are giving the value at min x as, so we can give a small value, 0.1 meter per second. That's enough. Okay, 0.1 meter per second. In x direction. Okay, in x direction. And I am giving the internal field. All the internal field as 0.1. That's the initial value that I am specifying. Then at the max x, we don't know the value, what should be the value, we don't know. So just we are giving it as that's an inlet value. That's it. The flow should occur outwards. That is inlet outlet condition we are specifying. Okay, flow should go out. So we are specifying inlet outlet condition and keeping the values as 0 itself. Keeping the values as 0 itself. And there are a lot of other patches also, isn't it? There are a lot of other patches also that can be volts. That can be volts. But I don't know those names. Okay, I don't know those names. There can be one max Z will be there. That's the top portion. Max Z will be there. Then some portion of min Y will be there. Some portion of max Y will be there. Then some other portions also will be there. So all those things, actually we don't know. So what we'll be doing is that we will be just giving the value as dot star. Okay, we will be just giving the values as dot star. Dot star, that should be kept in double quotes. That means all the other patches that is not specified here. All the other patches that is not specified here should be given the boundary condition as fixed value. Okay, should be given the boundary condition as fixed value. So that's why we are specifying it as fixed value 0, 0, 0, 0. So just a second, I will be coming back now. Some issues with the power now here. So just a second, okay.
ചേട്ടാ ആ ഒരു ജെട്ടിന്റെ ഒരു
Sorry for the inconvenience. So now we are just moving on to the next one. So here we are specifying the temperature. So I am just giving the values of 300 itself. And now here we want to specify the patches where the heat transfer should occur. Okay, so the mapping of the phase should happen here. Okay, that's an important thing that we should keep in mind. So there will be some patches that can be mapped between this water cavity and lead solid. Then there should be some patches between this water cavity and right solid, and then water cavity and heater. Okay, so all these things will be there. So what we want to do is that we want to edit that one. So we have min x is there, that's the inlet. So there I am giving the temperature as 300 itself, 300 Kelvin. That means the temperature of the inlet water is 300 Kelvin. Then maximum point, that is at the outlet, max x. There I am specifying it as 300 as the initial condition only. We are giving it as a uniform value, inlet value. So that will be changing accordingly. Then, as I had previously explained, in the case of dot star, all the other patches I am giving it as 0 gradient and initially as a 300 Kelvin. And now we are naming some patches that is being sharing the boundary. Okay, there it should be water cavity instead of bottom water. There it should be water cavity instead of bottom water. Okay, and we are specifying that water cavity to, underscore dot star. That means all the patches that is coming in contact with this water cavity. So that means water cavity to left solid, water cavity to right solid, water cavity to heater. Okay, so please edit that. Instead of bottom water, it should be water cavity. Okay, so water should be in small case and cavity C should come as the uppercase. So water cavity to all the patterns. Okay. Now while scrolling down, you can see that the boundary condition that we will be giving is compressible, turbulent, temperature coupled, baffle mixed. So that's the general boundary condition that we are giving for taking this convection and conduction into account. Okay. And then we can see the thermal conductivity, kappa. Kappa is called this thermal conductivity. And this thermal conductivity is calculated as according to the fluid thermal model, because here it's fluid. And we are giving the value. Let the value be 1000 Kelvin. Okay, let the value be 1000 Kelvin. So here we are giving the values of 1000. So just for running the solution fastly, that I am giving this value. Okay. Or else it will take much time for getting heated if we are giving a patch. Okay, in heater, the bottom patch, in heater, we'll be having this min Z. We are having this min Z as the bottom patch, and we can specify the temperature over there. So that what happens? The heating will be taking place from the bottom portion of the heater. Slowly it will be coming to the top portion. Then the left solid and right solid get heated. Then after that, slowly this water cavity also will be getting heated. So it will take time in order to visualize that thing. We don't have that much time for running. So that's why we are just giving 1000 Kelvin to the all patches. Okay, right solid, left solid, heater, everyone we are giving the 1000 Kelvin so that directly this heat transfer will be taking place with this air water cavity. Okay, so that it will be heated easily. So that's why I'm just giving the 1000 Kelvin everywhere. Now, while moving on to the epsilon, we can see that initially the value is given as 0.01, and we have three boundary fields that we are giving, that is min x, max x, that's inlet and outlet, and all the other boundaries that will be treated as mole. Okay, all the other boundaries will be treated as mole. So where we will be using epsilon mole function for calculating the value for epsilon. Yes. Now moving on. We can see the value for K also. Again, the same thing. Again, the same thing that we are doing. So there is nothing for editing here and all. Just move down. Now we can see the pressure value P minus 4G should be seen here. So again, min max, max x and the dot star is there. So that's a default one. So dot star means all the other patches. In min max, we are giving us the zero pressure, that's the atmospheric pressure we are specifying. And max x, that value will be calculated, sorry, the inlet, in the inlet the value will be calculated. That's why we are giving it as zero gradient. And at the outlet we are giving the
So what was the difference between P and P minus OG?
P, what's actually, actually I had explained that in the previous thing. Suppose we have a tank full of water. Okay, we have a tank full of water. And what will be the pressure at the bottom of the tank?
It will be rho GH.
That will be the atmospheric pressure plus the static pressure of the water, isn't it? Hydrostatic pressure.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So we are removing this hydrostatic pressure. So what will be the remaining one?
Or that is that rho GH will be the only.
No, P minus OG, what will be the value? That we are removing the total pressure. From the total pressure, we are subtracting the hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so the remaining pressure will be the pressure that is exerted from out. Isn't it? Exerted from the outside.
Okay.
That can be atmospheric pressure also. Okay, if there is an external pressure acting, that can be atmospheric pressure.
So pushed.
Okay, yeah. So then in dot star on all the other patches, we are giving the fixed flux pressure, so that will be calculated accordingly. Now moving downwards, you can see P. So here we are not giving the value P because that should be calculated because there is an effect of gravity also. Okay, there is an effect of gravity also. So here we need to take the hydrostatic pressure into account. Okay, this rho G should be taken into account here. That's why we are not giving the value for pressure here. We are giving the value of pressure as an external component. Okay, so internally the effect of gravity also needs to be taken into account. That's why we are not specifying the pressure over here. So and there will be changing density. Accordingly, the pressure will be changing. So we are specifying that in all the areas, inlet, outlet, everywhere, we need to calculate the pressure. Okay, we are specifying that we need to calculate the pressure at all the patches. That's why I'm not specifying here anything, just giving it as dot star everywhere. Okay, just giving it as dot star. So that's all about this change dictionary dict that's present inside the water cavity. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can ask now. Okay. So now we can close that.
So zero gradient means it will be zero.
Uh,
So zero gradient will mean zero only everywhere.
no.
Constantly.
Zero gradient means that's we are giving a provision for calculating that one.
Zero gradient is we will be calculating it.
Yes,
And
there will be calculating all the parameters.
and this one fixed flux pressure.
It's not clear. Nilesh, what you are asking?
So, and what about this fixed flux pressure thing? Type fixed flux pressure value uniform zero.
Field fixed flux pressure.
Yes, sir.
So
This is the
that
folder
will
name. Fixed flux pressure.
fixed flux pressure in the type and the value we are giving as uniform. Yes, that means the pressure will be exerted on the walls and that will be taken accordingly.
Okay.
Where will we get the description of all these different options and
Yes,
its
that I will be sharing a PDF file.
okay.
There we have all these descriptions. By tomorrow, this all together with these presentations, and I will be sharing this boundary. That's a book. Okay, we are having a book describing all these boundary conditions alone. So I will be sharing that also.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So in that particular book, we can see all these examples, what all formats that we need to do, and in what case these boundary conditions to be used, etc.
Okay, okay, okay. So unless we give fixed value, everything will change, right? Otherwise, basically,
Yes,
it will
yes.
be the initial value only.
Yes. If we are giving that as a fixed value, then that will remain unchanged, or else
And
that will be calculated. So we can give either
okay,
zero gradient or like flux. It can be, or inlet outlet boundary condition can be given. Outflow condition can be given. So there are a lot of boundary conditions. So in this one, in the case of temperature, we had given some baffled, coupled, etc. So that's
okay,
only used for in the case of convection and conduction. So if we want to incorporate this radiation, then again we want to give another boundary condition called radiation baffled mixed coupled. That
okay,
will
okay.
take radiation also into account.
But it is mandatory that we give for each and every min, max, like all the phases, you have to give some values like this,
Yes,
either
yes,
by
it's mandate. It's mandate that all the boundaries should be given some sort of values.
okay,
So that's why we are using this change dictionary file, because it's not possible to name all these patches.
Mhm.
Since we are splitting this boundary, I mean the block mesh, we can see that this y, min y will be shared by this water cavity, heater, left solid and right solid.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
So while giving this boundary condition, it's not that much easy for creating all these things. So in order to avoid that, we are just giving us dot star. So in the
okay,
polymesh folder, all these boundaries or the patches are present. So what they will
okay,
be doing is that they will be referring to this polymesh folder and creating the boundary conditions accordingly.
okay.
So if you have any doubts, you can ask, or else we can wind up from here and we can continue the remaining things tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then, bye.